Welcome to the Product Biz Made Easy podcast, where we help you scale your product-based business. Your award-winning host and serial entrepreneur, Becky J. Anderson, created an 8-figure product-based brand that was sold all over the world and in big box retail stores. Each week, she will be sharing sales strategies, marketing advice, or inspiring interviews to help you scale your product-based business. Now, on to the show.
Welcome back to the podcast. This is Becky, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. Today, I'm answering some questions that I have received through DMs, and I'm getting this question consistently over and over. So I'm going to talk about it today on a solo episode of the podcast. And that is, where can I find new products to sell in my Instagram shop or on my online shop? So these are not products that you would wholesale, but products that you would buy at wholesale and sell retail. So we're going to talk about where you can find those products at today. So let's start with the first place where you could find products to sell in your shop, and that would be attend a trade show. Now, in order to attend a trade show, you have to be completely legal. So in other words, you have to have a tax ID number and a business license, and then you can register for any trade show and purchase products that you've got there on your shop. Okay, let's talk about some of the trade shows that there are. The gift show is a great show for finding products such as home decor, candles, bath and body, frames, anything like that. And there's some great big shows in the US. The main show would be Atlanta Gift Mart. There's the Las Vegas Gift Mart. There's the New York Gift Show. There's Dallas. There's so many of these gift shows. Just check out the gift shows and what vendors they have and look online and see if that would be something that you would want to attend to find products like that. Then if you want to do apparel or accessories, there's apparel shows. There's a big apparel show in Atlanta, Las Vegas, LA. There's all sorts of apparel shows, and you can look up the LA Mart and the fashion district there, and there's lots of resources there. You can also go to the LA fashion district and just walk up and down the streets there, and there's all sorts of vendors where you can buy jewelry and handbags and sunglasses and shoes and leggings and clothes, just all sorts of things that you can buy, and you can get really low numbers. So in other words, you don't have to buy dozens of them. You can go in there if you attend the fashion district and walk around and find things to test things out. You can also buy them and re-tag them and put them in your shop. So that's a great way to start small and not have to buy great big numbers. Then there's gourmet food shows if you want to do something like that. There's also the houseware show, which is usually held in Chicago in March. That's all kitchen stuff and home stuff. And then there's the hardware show in Las Vegas in May, and that's all kind of the tools and the hardware stuff, lanterns and outdoor things, stuff like that. Okay, then there's a really cool show for jewelry and jewelry accessories and things that it takes to sell jewelry, and that's the IFJAG show. That show is held in Las Vegas in August. And so that's a lot of shows where you can buy products to sell. Okay, there's another show that is really good if you want to go overseas, and that is the Canton Show in China. That show is incredible, and it's miles and miles and miles of vendors, and the buildings are so big. I'm telling you, when I walk that show and wear my pedometer, I get like 12 miles walking just going through that show in a day. There's so many things that you can get there, and the margins there are so good. But not everybody's ready or wants to go to China. But I'm just throwing that out there for those that want to know about that. And by the way, I will have in the show notes all of these trade shows that I've mentioned here so that you have those. So don't worry about that. Okay, then let me tell you some pro tips if you're going to be going to a trade show and looking for products. Make sure as you're looking for things that have a really good margin so that you can make money. And when I say good margin, say you're buying a candle. If you want to retail it for $20, don't pay any more than $10. So look for things where you can get a good margin and sometimes even more than double. You want to at least double. But if you can get more than double so that you can cover the expense of the freight to get it to you, that's even better. So be looking for things that the perceived retail value is at least half or greater than what you're looking for. Another pro tip is, remember, you are buying these products for your customer, not for yourself. So be thinking about your ICA and your ideal customer and what they would want. Would they want these products, or are you buying them just because you like them? Because remember, once you get them, you want to be able to sell them and move through your inventory. Okay, so one more pro tip. Make sure that you are watching industry trends. So when I mean that, I'm saying don't be late to a trend. So if there's a trend that's really popular, and it's starting to go down, don't buy a ton of that inventory, because everybody's going to be clearing that kind of inventory out. Let me give you a perfect example. I had a client call me once and say, I am sitting on thousands of diaper bags and I cannot get rid of them. And I said, really? Putting them on Amazon, putting them on your shop, you can't get rid of them? If they're that great, why? And she said, well, they have the chevron print on them. And I'm like, oh no, that trend died a couple of years ago. And so just be very careful in how much inventory you buy if it's a trend-driven product, and that the trend that you're buying for is still currently going and that people would still want to purchase for that. And then the next pro tip would be, make sure that the products that you are buying are solving a pain point for your customers, so that you know it's something that your ideal customer would really want, and be thinking about what will your unique selling proposition be to your customer as you're selling this. How are you going to be marketing it? So be thinking all these things before you just go randomly buy. Then the next thing is, just don't go randomly buy a few things. Make sure that as you're buying products, you can put together a cohesive product line so that you can have a whole theme. So for example, you may buy, say you're doing a fall Halloween pumpkin theme. You could buy pumpkins from different vendors. Just make sure that as you're buying them, that you're thinking about how you're setting this up in your shop, that you're having this cohesive line, that it's not just a few random things. Maybe it's all sorts of things that could go with this pumpkin theme. So be thinking about that. And then the last thing is, just make sure you have your business license, business cards, and your tax ID number, so that when you go to register, you can get into the trade show. So take that with you. So the next thing that I'm thinking about that would be great for you to get products, if you don't want to put a lot of money into inventory, but you're looking for things, you can do print on demand. And this is really easy. You hook up the vendor's website to yours, so your customer goes online and orders, and then your system talks to the print on demand account, and then it will print the products that you want and send it to the customer, and you don't even have to touch it. So print on demand is a really slick way to get products without having to have inventory. However, there is some work up front. You've got to hook up the print on demand software with yours. Shopify makes it really easy to hook up with Printfully and a few other of those. You can do t-shirts, you can do mugs, you can do all sorts of products. The other thing you're going to have to worry about is you've got to have unique designs that are your own that you can put up there. Now, if you're not an artist and you can't design them yourself, you can hire people to do it for you. You can go to Fiverr, or you can go to Upwork, or you can go to Craigslist. You can find designers or graphic designers. You can also find them online if you look for a virtual assistant that does graphics. You can also find designers. If you hire a VA in the Philippines, there's lots of designers there that are really good as well. So with the print on demand, you've got to have your own designs and you've got to hook up the software, but it will get you in business selling things that are not just a mug or a t-shirt. They're yours because they have your designs. Then again, like I said before, you want to have a cohesive product line. You want to have a unique selling proposition. So don't just slap a design on a t-shirt or a mug or a phone case or a makeup bag or something that you can do. There's one girl, I saw her print on demand shop, and it was done beautifully well. And she did $250,000 a year in just shower curtains. But she niched down and she came up with her unique selling proposition, which was all the trendy, fun prints and designs on these shower curtains, so people could go to Target and buy rugs and candles and all these things for their bathroom. And she made sure that those colors and trends were translated over to her shower curtains. So you can get really creative on print on demand also. So that's the second way to buy products for your Instagram shop or your retail shop. And then the last one I'm going to tell you about today is drop shipping. Now, this one, you do not have to buy the products. You don't have to design the products. You just find vendors and manufacturers that will drop ship for you. So let me explain how that works. Say you want to go to a manufacturer that you really like and you like their products. You could ask them, do you do drop shipping, and would you be willing to drop ship directly to my customers and put it on a white label so that it doesn't look like it's coming from you? And there's a lot of manufacturers and vendors that will do that. I've always done that with mine. If somebody wanted to buy candles from me or air fresheners or something that I sold, Bath and Body products, if they wanted to do it private label, I did it a couple of ways. I would sell them exactly what I sold and leave the label off so they could buy the product and they could put their own label on it. I would ship the inventory without the label to them. They could put the label on it themselves, and then they could ship to their customer with their own label. So then they had to go to the trouble to design and print labels and then stick them on the product and ship the product. But that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to just drop ship your products. So in other words, there were other ones that wanted me to drop ship, but they didn't want to deal with their own label. And I would just print their label on the product for them and do it. But I charge them more to do it if I had to go to the trouble to print and design their labels and put it on. And then I also required a minimum. But the bottom line is, so many manufacturers are willing to work with you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call and say, what does your private label program look like? Your drop shipping, what will you allow me to do, and how creative can we get to make this a win-win for you and for me so that you're getting sales and I'm getting sales. So just get creative and work with the different vendors that you want to sell products for on drop shipping and private label and see what you can come up with. So I hope that answered the questions. I've had this question asked so many times. So I hope that helped. Just a quick rundown of the 3 quick ways that you can come up with products. Buy at a trade show, do print on demand, or do drop shipping / private label. Thanks for listening. Now hop on over to BeckyJAnderson.com and grab your free roadmap to help you sell more products. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.